Hey guys, it's Jess. Welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be my experience on meeting Niall Horan. So I met Niall on May 20th, 2017, and I got to meet him at this concert called SPF Las Vegas, which stands for Sun Pool Fun, and it's hosted by CBS Radios and presented here at the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas. So the lineup for this concert was announced, I want to say early April, somewhere around then. So the lineup was announced and Niall was on the lineup. So basically the whole lineup is Jason Derulo, Post Malone, Niall Horan, Haley Steinfeld, and DNCE. And yeah, okay, I really liked the lineup because I thought it was actually pretty good. But I was most excited for Niall. And at this time, he only had this town out. He hadn't released Slow Hands. He had never performed on the loose before. It was just this town. So the next day, pre-sale tickets went on sale, and I bought one. After fees, it ended up being like $65, which I think is expensive for a ticket you're advertising is $40, but whatever. So I bought my ticket for $65, and then that was that. Like, I'm like, okay, I have my ticket, I'm gonna get in. Because last year I went to SPF actually, and it sold out, and I was really scared it was gonna happen this year again, because I do think that the lineup was better this year than last year. But maybe that's just my opinion. Last year was like Fifth Harmony, Alessia Cara. Those are the people I was actually excited to see, and then some other people. Anyways, that's totally not what this video is about. So I knew they were going to be having meet and greets because last year I actually won meet and greets for Alessia Cara. But this time I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna have to wait for meet and greet. And I wanted to win tickets because my mom didn't have a ticket. We could only afford to buy one. I didn't have enough to buy another. And so we really wanted to win tickets, but we knew if we win tickets, there's a chance we might not be able to win meet and greet because you can only win once per contest. And nobody knew if that meant if you win tickets, you can't win meet and greet. So we had no idea, so we decided not to win tickets. And then it gets to be the week before the show. So the show's on a Saturday. So not the week of the show, but the week before that. We decided, okay, they have not mentioned one thing about meet and greet. Like, they're ignoring everybody asking about it. So we went ahead and we won tickets, and then, so we had one for me and my mom. And we were set. And then, literally 3 days later, they announced they're doing meet and greet. I'm like, wow, okay, my life finally cave in and this happens. So they announced on the Sunday before the show, so less than a week till the show, that they were going to be doing meet and greet. I'm like, okay, okay. And this is the part where I kind of started to get worried. Because when I won the Alessia Cara meet and greet last year, it was that you had, okay, well, first off, they gave them away for like 2 weeks. And then when you won, you were like the correct caller, you had to pick who you wanted to meet. And so when I won, there was one spot left for Fifth Harmony, but I'm not a huge fan of them, so I chose Alessia. But like, how do I explain? Okay, so only say 10 people, like the first 5 people that picked Fifth Harmony could win. If you won after that and you won a Fifth Harmony, you couldn't. You had to pick someone else to meet. So I was really scared that that was going to happen. Plus the fact that it took me 2 weeks to win them last year, and this time there's only a week. And to make it even worse, they said, oh, by the way, you can only win the meet and greet on Thursday. And I was just sitting there like, boy, I cannot win meet and greet in one day. So it finally comes to be Thursday, the day that they're giving away meet and greet. And they gave out some more details, such as if you win, you meet all of the artists. You don't just pick one artist to meet. So my mom, bless her soul, let me stay home on Thursday to try and win meet and greet because she knew how much this meant to me to finally meet Niall. So I kept calling ever since I woke up, and I could not get through. Like, I swear I called by noon. I want to say I called the radio station 300 or 400 times, and it had not rung once. Like, if you've ever done a call-in, you know, when they answer, they're like, oh, you're caller 7, try again. Well, you had to be caller 25 for my station. And yeah, it did not ring once. I just got the busy signal over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And I had basically given up at this point. So it was around noon, and I was talking to my mom because she was on lunch break at work. And I'm like, they keep mentioning on the radio this car thing. And we're like, okay, well, listen. So we write down all the details, the next ad, and basically was that someone was going to be at this car dealership, and then you can go sign up and put in your name, and they're gonna like randomly draw a person to win meet and greet, like VIP experience to SPF. And we're like, okay, Might as well. It was on my mom's way home from work, so I didn't stop trying to that. Like, I kept trying to win. I could not get the phone to ring once. So my mom's on her way home from work. She stops. She says hi to the people, and then she gets home or whatever. And then we go out and do some things. And they said, oh, we're gonna be calling the winner at 6:45, and we're like, okay. Like, so 6:45 comes, like literally at 6:45 the phone rings and my heart drops. But no, it's not the radio station, it's my dad. And like, it was horrible timing because I seriously thought I had won, but we didn't at 6:45. So then it gets to be like literally 6:47, 2 minutes after the time they said they call. I'm like, okay, it's been 2 minutes. They hate I'm like, okay, it's been 2 minutes. We didn't win, obviously, because I'm impatient like that. I'm like, okay, 6:47, what's the point? Time to go to bed. I'm never meeting Niall Horan ever. And then literally 3 minutes later, 6:50, we get a phone call. And it's my mom's phone because you had to be 18 to enter, and I'm only 17, so she had to enter for me. And like the phone rings. I'm like, okay, who is it? She's like, oh, it's Denise. And my mom has a friend named Denise, so like I didn't think much of it. I'm like, okay, whatever. So like I went, and then like it was near the end of the phone call, and she said bye, and then she's like, wait. She's like, what time will you be picking us up? And I turned and I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, she's like, I told you we won. And I started bawling because at this point we won Niall Horan meet and greet. Like, okay, everybody else is cool, yeah, but Niall Horan. So I started bawling my eyes out. And now, like, first off, my first thought is I'm meeting now. And then the second thought is I only have 2 days to suddenly become attractive. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna wear, what I'm gonna look like, what I'm gonna do. Like, I can't prepare in 2 days to meet Niall. Like, I've loved him for over a third of my life. I can't do that in 2 days. So, whatever. So it comes to be Saturday, the day of the concert. We went to Old Navy, because they had, like, half-off dresses. And I actually bought this dress that I'm wearing. And this is what I wore to meet Niall. And, okay, so it gets to be around 3 o'clock. Basically, our VIP experience that we won is that we were going to be, like, vlogged. Like, they were filming us live for Facebook Live, and they were going to be driving us to and from the concert, as well as giving us tickets, and meet and greet. So it was, like, a whole experience. So they picked us up at 3:30, and, like, we went on their Facebook Live. I'll actually link that below, so you can see me awkwardly being embarrassed because I'm meeting Niall Horan in an hour. And then we got to the venue, and they give us these yellow wristbands that is in my room, and it basically just says SPF Vegas 2017 VIP. And we figured those were the meet and greet wristbands, plus they gave us 2 tickets to the show. So we went up to the meet and greet room, and they gave us these orange checkered wristbands, and we're like, what's these yellow wristbands for then? And they're like, oh, we don't really know, like, that's for the venue, not really for the radio station. And we're like, okay. So it gets to be 4 o'clock, and this is when they said the meet and greet was going to be happening. So I started, like, freaking out, but we just met Jason Derulo first. And he was actually very nice. It was very rushed, but he was like, hi, darling, and, like, he talked as they were taking the picture, and then we said bye. He was very nice. And then after that, we had to wait, like, an hour before we met DNCE, and that, that meet and greet was a joke, too. Yeah, it was just stand, go, don't talk. Joe Jonas ignored me. That's my fun in life. They were more concerned about my mom than me, but it's okay. She had fun. And then it had been literally another hour. So around this time, it's around 6:30, and they come in, and they're like, the radio station comes into our waiting room, and they're like, you're not meeting Post Malone. And okay, I thought they said Niall Horan. I thought they said, sorry, you can't meet Niall. Like that's what I thought they said. And I started bawling. People are like, what's wrong? I'm like, just say it again. And then she said Post Malone, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, honestly, I don't care for Post Malone. So at this point, it's probably 6:45 or 7 o'clock now. I think it's close to 7. So it's been 3 hours. Everybody's kind of irritated because they said we would be meeting everybody at 4. It's really messy, unorganized. They're not telling us anything. We're waiting an hour between people and then getting 2 seconds with them. So it's kind of like, what's even the point? So around this time, it's like 6:45, 7 o'clock, and we met Haley Steinfeld. And this was my second time meeting Haley, and I went in and I asked for a hug, and she's like, oh my god, of course. So she went to hug me, and then like her security or something put his arm in between us, and he's like, not today, take the picture. I'm like, okay. So he took the picture, and I was leaving. I told her, it was like my 6th or 7th time seeing her, I don't remember which one, and I told her, and she was really ecstatic about that. And then I started crying when we left because I'm like honestly, like, I'm really sad I didn't get to hug Haley, But I'm more sad that this is probably how my Niall meet and greet's gonna go. I'm not gonna be able to hug Niall. Like, this is what I'm concerned about. Like I didn't want to meet him if it was going to be a bad experience, if you know what I mean. So they said, okay, 15 minutes till the Niall meet and greet. So I'm like, okay, 15 minutes, and then like I started bawling my eyes out. Like, ask anybody that was there, I was bawling my eyes out. And AD, the radio host, came over and saw me. He hugged me. He's like, no, don't cry. Like, it's gonna be okay. Like, you're gonna hug now. Like, that's literally what I was crying about. I was crying because I was scared I wasn't going to be able to hug now. And he's like, no, you're gonna hug now, or I'm gonna go back there and fight security for you. I'm like, oh, you're so sweet. And finally, it gets to be like 7:30, so now it's been double the time they said it was going to be. Doors open in half an hour. We're going to be in the back of the line because it's general admission. We're all very annoyed with the radio station because they're not telling us anything, and I'm sitting there bawling my eyes out. So they move us to this different room, and I start crying more, and there's much more like radio station personnel there, and a lot of them know me there. And so Chet Buchanan, he's the morning radio host, he saw me and he came over and hugged me, and he's like, no, it's okay. And then like he had to keep reassuring me throughout the night, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, like, you're just gonna be now, it's gonna be perfect. So I'm like bawling my eyes out, and then we were starting, and I told him I was scared I wasn't gonna hug him. He's like, you probably won't. I'm like, boy, you're right. So I'm like bawling even more now, and then we start moving, the line starts moving, the door opens, I don't know how I bawled even more, but I did. And I put my phone in the waistband of my spandex to audio record. So I did get an audio recording of my meet and greet. Except for I'm not going to be posting it in this video. I'll post a link in the description bar if you guys want to hear it. So so basically how it was is like, okay, so I can't do visuals on camera. So basically when you walked in the room and you could see Niall, you didn't have your person in the room, but like you could see him taking pictures with other fans. So like I knew how it was gonna be. So right when I walked in the room and I saw him, I started bawling. First off, because I was happy because he wasn't, I hate his hat. I hate it. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. So like that's my one wish for the meet and greet, was that he wouldn't wear his hat, and he wasn't. So I started crying even more, and people saw me, they're like, no, it's okay. And then John Moog, the guy who drove us there, another radio personality, saw me and he took a picture of me crying. They're like, no, it's okay. And so then finally there's like probably 5 groups of 2 in front of me because they were done in pairs. And okay, and then I'm like I can't get my eyes off Niall Horan. He's right in front of me. Like, that man that I've loved for 7 years of my life is right in front of me. Hello, how am I supposed to look away? So finally it gets to be like okay, so the people in front of me were going, basically. And at this point, I knew my meet and greet was going to be very quick, because other people weren't even, like, hugging him. Like, they just go stand by him, take a picture, like, not even say a word to him, and leave. I'm like, I can't be like that, I can't be like that. So it's the people in front of me are going, and the production guy who's, like, telling people when to go was telling me, stop crying, like, it's okay, it's just Niall. I'm like, yeah, it's not just Niall, like, and then Mark, famous Mark, where are we going today? Mark saw me and he kind of like giggled at me, like crying, and I looked at him and I'm like, hi Mark, like, you can't even understand me. And he waved to me and he's like, hello, and I died. Wow, Niall who? I'm here for Mark. And then so it got to be my turn, and he's like, okay, you're next. And I look, and there's Niall, like, staring at me with the biggest smile on his face, and he's like, hello there, and he's like, wait, don't cry, you can't cry for the picture, or something like that. It was like, you're not crying for the picture, are you? And then I'm like, I know, I'm so sorry. And then I'm like, can I have a hug? And he's like, of course you can. And let me tell you, when he looks at you with his beautiful eyes, it's the most, stop, it's the most wonderful feeling in the world. Like, he cares so much about you in your little time alone. And like at this point I'm like, okay, they're gonna make us take the picture now. And then I started talking to him, and I'm like, I talked to him about basically how I've loved him for so long, like 7 years or something, and he's like, thank you. And then I'm like, and I really, like, I'm so proud of you, I love Slow Hands so much. And when I said I loved Slow Hands, his face lit up, bigger than anything in the world. It was the best smile ever. Like, he had the hugest smile on his face. So he high-fived me for that, and then after that they're like, okay, we need to take the picture. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, can we hug for the picture? And he's like, yeah, of course. So we hugged for the picture, and they took the picture. And then afterwards, I'm like, cause me never wants to let go of Niall Horan, was like, can I have another hug? And I'm bawling so much that he can't understand me. He's like, what? Like, I'm like, can I have another hug? And he starts laughing because he couldn't understand me. And he's like, yeah, and he hugged me again. And then he was like, it's nice to meet you, like, have fun at the show tonight or something. I'm like, thank you. And then you hear my mom talk to him. And this whole time I'm bawling my eyes out. Nobody knows what I'm saying. Like, I listened to my audio recording, I sent it to my friend, and I had to write down word for word what I said because she couldn't understand it. Like, it's horrible, but it was the best 30 seconds of my life. And I found out that the radio station had talked to, like, security and the photographer. And even though it was only 30 seconds, and that seems like a short amount of time, it was much longer than anybody else got. And so I'm really thankful to y'all at the radio station and security for letting them know that I got more time than anybody with him, because of my emotional state. Like, everybody saw how much he meant to me. And then we left the room, and he's so cute. I love him so much. And I'm bawling my eyes out, and some other people, like some other radio hosts, like Chet came back up to me, and he's like, you did it, see? And then Kayla, another morning person, ran to me and was like hugging me. He's like, I'm so happy for you. And then there's like people I didn't even know, I have no idea who they were, that were just like, I'm so happy for you, how was it? I'm like, I died. And then yeah, so we went to the actual concert, and the yellow wristbands were actually for like a certain like deck, I guess, like a VIP deck, which had free food, which is amazing, because if you've ever been to a concert, you know food is like $4 million there, and it wasn't like cheap food. Like, it was like sliders and meatballs and fancy salad. Like, it was good stuff, but you still had to pay $12 for water. So we had like this deck kind of behind the stage, and basically all night that's where I was. I kind of hung out by R5 and Forever in Your Mind. I didn't ask for pictures though, but they were up there. I was up front, like I was the front row for Niall. He was the first person, and then I chilled after that, screamed my heart out to Slow Hands, This Town, and On the Loose. He didn't do his cover. And then we actually saw him lingering backstage for like 2 or 3 minutes before and after, and I'm so blessed. He wore my favorite shirt for the performance. And yeah, so basically that was it. I also bought a shirt and a postcard that I don't have with me, but yeah, they're Niall's face on them. But yeah, so I guess that was my meeting Niall experience. It was truly the best day of my life, and the best experience. Like, words can't even describe how much it meant to me. Like just seeing him right there in front of you. You know, people made fun of me in line, I'm not gonna lie. There were some teens there making fun of me in line for crying, but joke's on them because they got 2 seconds with him and I got 30 seconds. And honestly, I don't care what anybody else thought of me, because that was the best moment of my life. Like, I wouldn't trade that experience for the world. Oh, I mean, unless like I could get 30 minutes with him, maybe. but yeah, so that was it. I also saw some other people throughout the night that I didn't remember. I chatted with some people from R5 for a few minutes, and then I saw some like production guys that were like putting on the show, and they're like, I'm so glad you got to meet Niall. I'm like, I don't even remember you from the meet and greet, but thank you. Like, everybody there, I felt like knew how much Niall meant to me. Like, they made sure I was at the front for his performance. Like, they made sure I had the best experience with him. So basically everybody that was there helped contribute to it. And I just want to thank everybody, even you people that were making fun of me because you have no life. Like, thanks, because I had the best experience of my life. And yeah, I also got 5 pictures with him, and I hate every single one of them, but everybody else only got 1 picture, and I got 5, and they lost my Haley Steinfeld picture, but I got 5 pictures now. That's insane. And yeah, okay, I love him a lot. So that was my experience meeting Niall, and I really hope that all you watching this do get to meet him and have such an amazing experience as me. It was truly the best day of my life, and I'm so proud of him, and I'm so, like, every minute I've spent towards him on social media, every dollar I've spent flying to other states to see him, every hour I've waited outside, like, Billboard Music Awards to see him was so worth it. And I just hope all of you guys get such an amazing experience with your faves or your idols, because, yeah, it was amazing. So you guys can follow me on social media, Twitter and Instagram at UANJess. And then also, if you could subscribe to this video, subscribe to my channel, and also like this video. I have new videos coming out. I have a vlog to be posting soon. I just saw Madison Beer and Alex Aono. I can't say his name. I'm gonna have a vlog posted soon from that, and I just have some really exciting times in my life. So it'd mean the world if you could subscribe. So I'll talk to you all soon, and yeah, bye.